But hey, pride still on the line, Chance. All right, well, looks like we're going to get into this one very shortly, and we'll see just how it goes. I believe Chance just had a little bit of a mic problem there, but once he's fixed that, it will join us right back in the cast. At the time, though, we'll see just how hot these teams come out of the gate. And the Boozer just waiting here, because Boston have got a first little bit of control. And they're just going to keep fighting for this. Of course, you know, Boston not had a great time recently on a very big loss streak. Problem being, of course, is that most people now see Seattle as the team to beat, just outside the top 4, and then everybody else. And so far, so good. Eventually, Seattle Surge will break back in. Chance, you back with me?
Right? Not the best start on the P1. Boston maybe taking him to task just a little bit, but a couple cutoff kills coming through, and more importantly, that rotation. 0-4, he's been posted up, chilling, basically just waiting for the gunfights to come to him, and as soon as they do, he gets the kills and going to take a swim as well. 20-point gap between these two teams, but Seattle, it's their time to shine.
See now the setup. This is everything. This push has to be on it. And Breezy and Hook, they're having a nice relaxing time. Both laying in the water. Will it be enough for them? A Boozer will find two. Major Maniac getting one back. Now both teams are going to be staggered. But it will be Seattle Surge with a slightly better position. They're on the hill. They can wait for this pressure and absorb it. At the moment, they're doing just that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Dave was touched on the desk, right? Their holds have been fantastic, and an opportunity for things to look good as well. You trade out Snoopy, already feeling better about your odds. It's trades through and through. Literally, both these teams getting after it, but Beans has the stamp on it. It is the two-piece, that is separation, and now Beans, opportunity just to fry and fly just a little bit more. Final 10 seconds of scrap to be fought over. Beans just playing keep ways, his team ahead of the rotation. So Boston, honestly, so far so good. Things not looking too bad on 6-star.
Let's see if they can hold it. You don't see Major Maniac. He'll be waiting here. Bean's going to spawn with him as well. And now the rest of the team just trying to hold, but pressure from Seattle is mounting. They're trying to get through here, but not able to get any of the kills they need to start really hurting Boston. You can already see the spawns start to manipulate on the mini-map as the kills gently go towards Seattle.
Well, gently as well, except for Major Maniac gonna have to just block it, and he just does not last a Booza way ahead, taking care of business, and that is a nice break rolling through. Doesn't necessarily make it clean. 30 seconds to fight over is absolutely time you're gonna want. And Booza tries to give you a little bit extra, but it looks like an opportunity for Boston. They might have lost the spawns, but they're keeping in time, and now you can keep Seattle pinned towards the back. A clean 4 down. Everybody for Seattle still spawning out, and Boston right now fully capitalizing on 0-4 slow start.
Well, they are trying to just keep them at bay here. Boston will eventually lose that scrap time, but it's not going to matter. They got the time they wanted. They have the rotation as well. Major Maniac having a wonderful game at the moment, 11-5 as he just drops. You can see the rest of Seattle, though, they are pinching. They've got numbers back onto this. Boston have collapsed instantaneously.
That's a tough one, too. Yeah, I was going to say, we're watching Major Maniac pick up double kills on one side of the map. His team, though, on the setup, well, don't really offer too much on the rotation. Now, Brezzy gets a setup and maybe picks up an errant kill. He was only a nuisance on the flank, but you see Major Maniac in Boston ahead of business, making sure they're watching all the sort of cheeky little pushes that could roll through, and, well, now it's just a head smash, all guns forward.
Just trying to contest here for the second. 0-4, trying to play his life, finds the first one. Up and down, looks and finds Snoopy as well. No, a turn and burn. Snoopy will get it, but both teams just putting bodies onto this contest. Boston will win out at the end on the back of Major Maniac. And while they will get a little bit of an advantage here, we know we're going to P1. Hugh will continue to push this angle. Almost finds a second.
Yeah, that's so annoying going on the flank like that just for the final 10 seconds. But obviously it is a very quick rotation over towards P1. So Seattle gonna absolutely fight tooth and nail for it. And honestly, for Seattle Surge, they have a very simple game plan, it feels like, in a lot of the maps, but they just have that overwhelming force. So simple game plan is great when you can actually execute it. 0-4 looking to execute now, waiting for the timing, but Priesta, nice little off angle, and gives you 2 as well. Boston right now trying to do just a little bit extra. 2-piece for Priesta, 2-piece for Snoopy, and time collected for Boston.
This is just a slaughter. Everybody is just throwing everything in the middle of this map, and trades are happening in abundance. Nobody really getting away clean. Boston Breach, though, just a few points to the good, as both teams will be looking for this scrap time and the rotation. But Seattle Surge might actually get just that.
Yeah, he had 0-4 with the pinch, and as soon as that happened, the arrows for Boston started to get very uncomfortable. Had to make the decision. Do we focus on the rotation? Do we even try to go for this time? And, well, you think too much, you end up getting gunned down. The duo of Hook and 0-4 showing up in the feed, and Rezi, the opportunity, he's cleared out everything on the flank. It's only Snoopy that was being a little bit sneaky, but he gets caught in the kill feed, and now Brezi's bought so much space. Well, you've got everything covered. Seattle Surge so far on the P2s, they have looked nothing short of dominant.
Well, here we go. This is one big fight towards the back here. You can see him, Snoopy, looking to find a way in and almost throws that one away. Boozer somehow still alive and wins the gunfight. Must have been about 300 health there because Snoopy could not take him down, and Seattle, with that done, might just take the rest of this time in here. Brezzy also pushing up. See Snoopy easy. Oh, no. Well, the water might call that burn.
Yeah, unpredictability gunfights with Snoopy right now. You think he's gonna take an L and he ends up winning one. You think he's got a guarantee, can't trade Abuza. But I will say that one gunfight Abuza just won bought themselves a substantial chunk of time, the best hold that we have seen all game. And now because Priestess spawns out of the minimap, Seattle Surge honestly could just run it down and go towards new time. Bean's gonna be traded out. Priesta still not in the picture, and Seattle Surge just running it down through the front.
Priest, though, looking for this one. It's huge. If he can find a second, not going to. The reinforcements for Boston are about to flood straight through. Beans makes a huge kill. And Seattle Surge, after all of that work, will find themselves outside the hill again, trying to get in position as Snoopy and Beans go to work. Hugh tries to give a toe hold in, but it will be Boston with a better position. And now both teams contesting a lot on this point.
That is what I'm saying, man. This is just like the scrappiness that Seattle Surge brings to the table. Constantly annoying. They just flood anytime you think Boston might be able to get a good hold. It's just a lot of contest time running through. They're just throwing bodies at the point. They do get 4-man wiped here, so maybe the worst case scenario for Seattle, but it's like going to be a 2-2 split coming through. Boston got to worry about the pinch.
Major holding. Doesn't need to. Snoopy will find the first. They're both sides here. Boston looking and trying to make sure they hold it, but Seattle have put bodies in again. And now Priester is trying to just make sure he can stay alive. The rest of Boston come to help him out, but let's find out how Boston are coping at the moment with the Boston Breach. Listen in.
Watch out even more. Alright, Boozer in one. I want you to the lobby. You to the lobby. Careful. He's getting close. He's getting close.
Let's chop him together. Let's run out.
Come along with me. Yeah, come on.
I didn't stand, bro. Can we stage?
I got native, man. I have mid. I'm ready on it.
Mid.
I mean, no, he's secret.
I think there's gonna flip. I flip, bro. I flip.
How many times?
Stay away from me.
I'm a heady.
Heady dead. Yo, one's blue rotating. Blue rotating. You come behind me, Kyler.
He's weak as secret. He's ironing.
One shot. One's on blue nated. Cheap shot mid.
First stage done. Yeah, let's try to take mid.
Turn up right here, bro.
Yeah.
One shot stop.
I'm nading him. He's a stage. Stage. Three. All shot.
Station time.
Big fucking break. Take your time, bro.
Yeah, how many stage?
Help my lobby. I'll help you stage. Peek off. So I might hold. I'm gonna nade stage.
I'm picking up. You can be under. I got naded, bro. Give me a second. Nothing under, man.
I don't see you.
Be left and checking it.
He's laying down left.
Nothing stage.
I'm me, you then.
He's laying down back on the left side. One more time.
I'm dead. Because me, you.
Missing who?
Running at you.
Nah, she's out.
Get blue, bro.
I'll punch up.
Might get you.
Blue one shot. Blue one blue. I'll get you. There's two. Use one. Yeah, there's two blue boys here.
Well, Boston are putting the comms out, but they're not finding the success on this map so far. Desperately now trying to dig themselves out of a hole. 100 points down to Seattle Surge. It's a fight for P1, and P2's got to be better than they've done before.
And, well, yeah, P2 has also been the best case scenario for Seattle this entire game. Another spree, though, for Major Maniac. This man is double positive at hard point, and you're still down by 80. Make it 90 points. And, well, a P2 that is going to be very difficult to break down, even if Major gets a cruise. This is not the hill where you're going to have an effect. And they're setting up a long pinch as well. Priest is trying to go around the back. Beans is giving the entry kills. Major Maniac has the timing as well, so freebie kills being collected, but you still got to get that time.
You see now they've got the chaos spawns, both teams spawning out here. We'll have Boston at the back. They've got to get in position. They can't really afford to lose any of these trades. need to hold this as well as they possibly can and start thinking about the rotation. 25 seconds is all Seattle Surge needs, and they might do it right here as they break through.
They're just overwhelming, man. I'm telling you, Seattle. I mean, Priest is thinking about the rotation, which he has to, but as you pointed out, Seattle Surge could just win it on this P2, and they're picking up all the kills. They're making it look easy. In that rotation from Priest to Well, he flips the map and says, well, I guess I got to come back and fight for this time anyway, and I don't know if they're going to get it. 2 more seconds left. Cruise Missile can stop it, but barely, and look who's at the new time. It's Seattle collecting their easy dub.
And Seattle just looked relaxed at the end of that. 0-4 laughing. And I will say, for Boston, it did look close. About halfway through, they were trading everywhere on the map. Unfortunately, Seattle Surge were playing at a pace that Boston seemed to slip from. And it went from, okay, these two teams are fighting it out, to Seattle are now in cruise mode towards the end of this hard point.
And I'm telling you, Seattle Surge just play with like overwhelming force. I mean, we have Hook. He's been one of the fastest, if not the fastest player in the league since he's been here. 0-4 is one of the rare players that is actually happy and willing to sort of match that speed. So even though 0-4 goes -11 overall, and even despite the fact that the slang was very close, if not in favor of Boston Breach, it's those hills where Seattle, maybe they never get the breaks, but it's so much contest time coming through. It's so much of like just annoying moments where they're just, you know, chipping away at the time. And there had to have been maybe what, 30 seconds of contested time there for Seattle that Boston's not able to get. And meanwhile, Seattle Surge, they had the moments, especially on P2, where they actually got proper clearance and were able to build themselves up a decent chunk of time. So Seattle are just playing maybe like 8 out of 10 Call of Duty, but they do it the entire game. It is truly an onslaught.
It's going to be a difficult team, Seattle Surge, the rest of this run to the major. And for Boston, that's not what they want, really. Hoping for some easier games. Didn't find it here in the first one. Just not Boston having a good time. The losses continue to mount, and while we say there is an outside chance, there is an ice cube in hell potential of them making champs. Games like this just make it seem even further away.
And I was thinking too, for like, you know, one thing that Des talks about for the side of the Boston camp is the fact that their first week they had together, very short notice. You have a new roster, you don't have time to talk everything over, you only get a certain number of repetitions in before the matches play. They've had an extra week now, which can be a massive amount of time in Call of Duty to sort of figure things out. And honestly, I mean, the slang looked good. Major Maniac popping off on the hard point, you think that'd be a fantastic sign, but Seattle simply does not care. Literally one P2 where they get a full 60, and it just sets themselves so far apart. And then you're playing a 50-50 game the rest of the way through. I mean, Seattle Surge, they've played 6-star hardpoint now 11 times in the year. They have it dialed in of when to fight for scrap, how to be annoying, the good setups that they want when they need to get the holds as well. So a very difficult team to take down on 6-star.
Yeah, I think as well for Boston, got to improve that P1 and P2, right? It just never seemed comfortable for them. Seattle always looked more than ready to either break it or to hold it. But we'll see. This is not a one-map series. It is a longer one than that. Invasion Search and Destroy will be up next. To Boston rise, or does Seattle continue their reign of terror?
I mean, maybe the darkness will just fully consume Boston. You truly never know, but it will be a very fun map to watch, I think, for the Invasion as well, because obviously for Boston, they got their first one on it for the entire year just last week. We thought that was going to be the factor. Major Maniac, fantastic S&D player, did a great job of commanding the troops last time they played Invasion. Seattle Surge, though, have been 50-50 on this map, I'd say, throughout the year. When they're good, they're fantastic. When they're bad, they're awful. And I know a lot of it comes down to the first bloods from Hook as well. I think he quite literally has the record for most first bloods on this map in an individual game. So the pop-off potential is there. Him and 0-4 again, fantastic duo. But I just know for Boston, while their S&D has been abysmal on this map, they're gonna make Seattle work for it.
Well, the statistics don't lie, Chance, and this isn't looking good for Boston.
Different roster. But yeah, no, for sure.
12th in attacking and defending. Hey, sometimes dreams are made. There's Snoopy at 1.55, though, having a good time on Search and Destroy, and they'll need it again. All is not lost for Boston, but it is an uphill battle. It is going to be something they need to overcome. for Seattle. Of course, these 10 points also matter. It will give them an extra little bit of gap as we move towards Major 4 and the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, really for Seattle, especially with sort of the teams they're playing after this. There's your first blood, by the way. Hook from literally downtown, actually. And now on the minimap, 04 is so far behind enemy lines. Boston never going to read this. Snoopy might get shot in the back at any given moment. 04 giving me the comms. This is, I mean, a hell of a way to start off a defense for Seattle.
Target sighted. Major Maniac is about to fall to 04. There goes the first one. Beans will get one back, though. Problem is, they now know they are surrounded. Only Snoopy left, and 04 almost grabs him. The rest of them will slowly circle around the building. It's a siege. Can Snoopy break out? He found one.
And he's got the bomb and he's gone. There's no way, right? And they actually don't know he's gone. He doesn't even have dead silence or the covert sneakers, but he's at least made it out. Seattle Surge finally responding to the pressure. Still an impossible clutch.
Oh, timing. This bomb will probably go down, but I don't think Snoopy will survive getting out. 18 life in a dream. Has to chow. Not going to get the gunfight. Lost too much life, and it didn't come back in time. But yeah, he had to check the corners on the way out, but Seattle were like, where has he gone?
Yeah, no, a mixy moment for sure, but 04 would have been there for the trades anyway. So Seattle Surge taking care of business. And again, on the defensive end, best case scenario, who gets first blood from quite literally downtown, and then 04 gets inside of Ruggs, and you could basically call the round at that point. But I was going to say for Seattle, the matches that they have even after this series, they're playing all of sort of the other bottom teams in the league. They have the opportunity to get enough CDL points just in the online stage that they could completely take the pressure off of themselves going into Major 4 and just play with a nice air of comfortability. But you still have to make sure you win these series and put yourselves in the spot. Seattle Surge just though in prime position. Hoop looking for his next first blood.
Oh, Hugh aggressive as always. Will dive out. The reach-out is bold and gets it anyway. Surely not the second. Hugh doesn't care. Just runs straight into them. And well, Snoopy will get one back. Hugh is potentially looking about putting this bomb down, but that is outrageous.
Beans, well, maybe gonna even the odds, 2v2. And who still hasn't gone for this planet yet, so still a nail-biter of a situation. Snoopy, well, the hunt is on. They're gonna chase and try to hunt him down. Snoopy, though, had help on the cross. Beans gets some tags in, and just like that, the first bloods might not matter. Hook for the 1v2.
Well, he's already found two. He does have bomb. He does not need to engage here if he doesn't want to. He can potentially plant and then try to play for the post-plant, but no information. Only knows where Snoopy and Beans were, not where they are at the moment.
Easy reads. Snoopy taking care of business as well. Both him and Beans, I think, spotted Hook on the cross when he goes to work B Street. So I think Beans and Snoopy were just saying, hey, we're happy to let him plant over by the B site. We can trap him in and play for the retake in a 2v1. And instead, Hook just ends up not getting good timing. Can't check everything with that little time. And that's a hell of a round from Boston. Hook literally picks you apart at the start, but you execute after the fact. And I mean, again, as I pointed out, I know the S&D record for Boston has been abysmal, but from what we've seen with them on Invasion, at least with this roster, they're gonna make you work for it.
You gotta be honest with you, the fact that round ended in favor of Boston is still kind of mind-blowing. Hook finds two, and then somehow they don't do anything with it. But another round, another chance. Snoopy shouldering the doorway. Nothing on the nade check, and they are worried. They are worried about the disposition of Seattle Surge.
As they should be as well. I mean, Seattle Surge are basically triple stacked up B Street almost. Like, who can go back and forth, but Hook, maybe more first bloods roll his way. Boston getting frisky, but it's actually Hook that they find. Finally, Boston get a first blood.
Snoopy staying alive now, trying to hold the oh-so-important mid-tank. Brezzy will take him down, though. It's a huge gunfight. Brezzy will find Major Maniac as well. And Boston have been stalled. They do not have control. You can see Priester and Beans basically back-to-back watching doorways. Call has been made. They're looking to rotate potentially. versus 2. Priester desperately hoping for a kill. Hasn't found it, and now the only opportunity is to get this bomb down. He's going to go for it as well. A potential 1v2 here if he can get away.
There you go. He's out. 48 HP, and now 1 versus 2 against 2 very aggressive players with long-time duo, and they're there for the trades as well. Booza and Brezzy working over top of each other. Chemistry on point. Just another day in the office. And again, nice clutch. Boston finally get a first blood. Does not make a single bit of difference. The absolute snap back there for Seattle. These guys truly not wasting any time.
Back and forth so far in the sessions is Troy, and both teams trying to pull out all the stops. For Seattle right now, just getting a little bit ahead, but can they hold on to it is the real question. For Boston, the adaptation coming in. You can see Beans obviously having a little bit of a talk here with his team. And now with Seattle on the attack. Will it be Hugh for first blood again? Will he be that aggressive?
Well, first blood or first blooded at the very least, but he's been involved and active in all 3. Somewhat of a different setup as well. You got like sort of triple stack towards the middle of the map, so courtyard control firmly in the hands of Boston. Major Maniac and Priestess sort of watching each other's cross, and Hook going for the one-way, can't see anything, gets out of dodge, doesn't feel safe, wants to burn a few more tacks and nades.
Yeah, no trophy, no real cover. Goes for it again here. He'll try and get this bomb down. He is repositioning for it. Bomb will go down for Seattle. Can Major Maniac see a pixel? He does see something. I don't think enough bullets in. Not quite enough, and Priest will take down Hugh.
Yeah, first blood or first blooded, but at least gets the bomb down. Seattle are going to be playing for the hold.
Seattle just needs to make sure they stay out a little bit. That is going to be a huge first kill. Now 1 versus 3. Never mind. Damn. It's going to go down, and the post plant just didn't look that good for Seattle.
They just had everybody in the mix, right? I mean, you had Major Maniac and a couple cheeky tags on Hook, giving the call-outs to Priest to go get the kill. And again, a bit of a unique setup. Very aggressive. 3 players in and around the courtyard. Ton of crossfires that can be set up. And Beans was also very quick to get back in the action with his teammates. So Boston just able to swarm, and thwarting a bomb plant like that always feels good. Another thing that Des mentioned is Boston fantastic at getting the bomb down, but they've struggled in the post plants as Seattle did there.
Wow, these teams really just knowing what the other team's up to. It seems like the positioning and everything else, a bit of a chess game. Who strikes first? This time, Boston. They're going to go and look for a little bit of pressure down B. They've thrown some tacticals and nades down there, but nothing has come of it. At the moment, you can see Seattle surge all the way over towards A.
Got to react to that stun, right? Or Priest is not even going to check the corner. He gets the stun connection. Hook doesn't hesitate, and now Hook's going to get the call out to Priest's one shot. And first blood or first blood, you know he's going for the chow if he's got a kill in his lap, but does get traded out. Still, though, 3v3. Boston, the biggest problems these guys have had on this map is they just waste so much time before they make a play call. 45 seconds is a good chunk to work with, but they have yet to even go and get that bomb. Beans makes the collection. They have to make a decision soon.
It looks like the decision might be made. If Beans crosses here, Abuza's still as well. That's been called out. Seattle, they're diverting another body over. Brezzy reinforcements from Abuza are coming. But Boston, you're all right. They have burnt this time.
I mean, 21, 20, the bomb, you got to do something. You got to trade these players out. And you've given Abuza so much time to get in position. So now you're getting cut down on the cross. You're trying to run it. Brezzy straight into him. Bean slides to get the kill. And with 8 seconds left, if Abuza kills the bomb planter, that might be enough to decide it. And that's a nail biter. They can't do it. You literally waste too much time. You cannot win the round. Old habits die hard.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing you can never beat, be it in real life or be it in Call of Duty. You cannot beat the clock. And the call was made. We saw Beans pick it up, but even then, Major Maniac, and I think it was just didn't put enough pressure on the B street. They didn't open it up. They tried to check the corners as quickly as they could, but when you are burning the clock like that, if it goes against you, if you do not find the pick you need, you put yourself in a bad position, and they burn about as much clock as you could physically do.
The most insane part about that to me is the fact that Beans is the first one sliding in with bomb with a rival 9. That was the guy that had to pick up the bomb like back by laundry. Like Boston just They are not movers when they need to be, especially on the attacking rounds. And, well, maybe going to be punished for it. Only down a round, though, but Austin can obviously just respond on the defensive end. They've got the pressure in the right direction, and hey, that's going to help, excuse me, Hook again. First blood or first blooded, this time on a teammate.
Yeah, you can't go call that it might stick, but it is going to be an issue. That's one thing it certainly will be. Seattle Surge have lost one of their weapons, and now they're trying to make it push around to A. You can see Hugh is coming back for this. They're trying to get into the A bomb site. Boston are stacked ready though.
And this is just going to be a blender sort of setup. Well, smoke's out. Might give you a little bit of coverage. Hoop running in to maybe make amends for the previous loss. And Bredge is in the chaos. Everybody's in the chaos. And who comes out on top? It is Beans and Boston. Hook in the 1v2. And Beans, look at that positioning. Completely on point.
Outrageous timing. Beans will spot him eventually. No turn and burn. But you are right. They decided to cause mayhem around that bomb site. I couldn't even tell you. Everybody was just diving into the fight. Somehow Beans comes away with it and finds the last kill. Thanks to a little bit of timing, if we're honest, to get behind that Jeep.
Well, and also just to backtrack a little bit, Seattle Surge might have the worst nades in the league at this point. They've had quite a few situations, even in round 11s, even on Invasion specifically, where they just nade their teammates at the start of the round. There's a look at maybe the bounce of a frag grenade that's going to hit 04, or maybe you just drop it on his forehead. I have no idea. Seattle Surge, at least 3 times in S&D I've seen them do it. They love the nades, and who hits the same car? Everything is exploding.
Huke's nades certainly are something. They have absolutely no problem with killing people, but this round is basically over as Huke finds his third. Major Maniac has now been spotted. Will this be the Hugh case? Are they going to give it to him? Major Maniac finds a boost. Oh
my God.
The second. And Hugh will get the ace, but a little bit scrappy, that one.
Nah, I mean, 04. No, 04 doesn't look disappointed at all. He was clearly giving it to Hook for the ace, who, by the way, just to announce the insanity that has been this Invasion hardpoint, Hook has been involved, I think, in quite literally every single first blood. He's died a few times, he's gotten the kills, and now he's killed his teammates. I think the only other option for him is Hook has to, like, maybe die by car bomb to himself and first blood himself. That's the only way for Hook to level up.
Don't say it. It could happen. Well, speak of the devil, Hugh on the 4 streak with the bomb is going rogue. Already very aggressive. Does he continue on past broken? Waiting for some reinforcement. Oh, he does. He's going for it. He's checking the corners. A little bit of an issue. And down he goes. First blood, Hugh.
With bomb. Yeah, absolute psycho. And then Snoopy just doesn't know the angles, and now it's a 3v2 for Seattle, just like they wrote it down. Just like they wrote it down. It is a calculated strat. Rambo Ray, 200 IQ.
Welcome to this game where nothing makes an awful lot of sense, but it's entertaining regardless. Beans for the 1 versus 3 after they found the first blood. And they are pinching him slowly. He's trying to get away. There's surely nowhere to go, and Seattle Surge will win it. And Hugh is laughing at how ridiculous this round has been.
This game has been like, there is no concept of that round. There is no good strat. That is just a very free first blood where Hook just dies. He full sends it, doesn't have anybody watching over him, to all of a sudden Boston all individually throw away their lives. They don't even know the angles to get shot out at top green. That is a painful moment for Boston. And yeah, I mean, Seattle Surge, very comfortable. They're not playing with no sweat, no pressure. 5-3 lead, and now they're on defense, and who will be involved for first blood one way or another.
Got to be right. Well, he's taking this position and being a little bit of passive. 04 will find it this time, though. Not the second. Priester equals it back to a 3 versus 3.
04 is lame for that, man. He ruined the perfection of a game from Hook in this moment, but for the 3v3, reading the B pressure, Brezzy's been posted up on B the entire time, and Hook just waiting for a calm. As soon as there's noise, he'll start to get active.
Boston. This slow, inexorable creep towards the B bomb site.
Great nade.
that causes more of an issue. You thought they were slow before. Watch this.
And now they just don't know what to do. Spinning in circles, waiting for a ghost to appear, but Hoop not getting active right now. And they're trying to go over towards A, but you've got to boost and post it out. And again, he'll get the information. You'll get spotted on the tank, and as soon as he gets the call out, Hook snaps in position out here to call game.
Major Maniac will find one, but no bomb in 15 seconds. You basically have to die for it, and a few bullets in, it's gonna get across. Oh no, the stun has slowed him completely, and that'll be it. Seattle Surge. A comfortable victory in the end, you can see. Animated talks there from the team, but it isn't kind of a jubilant victory for him. It's just kind of a, I don't know what was going on in that S&D, but at least we won.
Yeah, and look, for Seattle Surge, again, on a game plan front, Hook had 2 different first bloods blowing up the exact same car in Boston's spawn. Literally in round 1, you think Boston would recognize that nade potential, and then a few rounds later, they get double killed by it. So Boston, not a team that is on point, making adjustments on the attacking end. And honestly, I do feel a little bit bad for Beans. We watched him in a 3 versus 3 with 50 seconds left when they picked up bomb, like over towards Cafe. Beans had to be the first one to slide in towards the site with Arrival 9, attempting to do everything. And well, Hook, 4 first bloods, 3 first deaths, but Priesta, 4 first deaths as well, and did not match it in the kills department. Seattle Surge just clearly the better team.
Yeah, they're sitting pretty good. And now the question is, does Seattle Surge just put this one to bed in invasion control, or do Boston have something else to bring to the table? The long road back for Boston, and against a team they thought that maybe they could just start taking some points against. But it isn't looking great, Chance.
No, not at all. And I will say sort of the biggest stain on Seattle's record has been their control all year. But if you think that's the opportunity for Boston, you might have to second guess yourself. Seattle Surge looks so much stronger, especially on invasion. So going to be a very exciting look for these guys on this map, Bryce. But that'll be after the break.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Scuff Gaming is doing an ultimate giveaway where you and a friend can win a chance to go to COD Champs this year. The giveaway includes 2 VIP tickets, travel expenses, and more. To enter, scan the QR code on the page or go to scuff.co/CDL and enter your email. Terms and conditions apply.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We have Seattle Surge and Boston Breach throwing it down. Unfortunately, only Seattle are picking it up because Boston have not had a good time in the first two maps, Charles.
No, haven't had a good time in, well, the entire year. I was going to say in a few months. They are currently on a 12-loss spree. If they lose this series, they will be at 13 in a row, which ties the record for most series losses in the CDL era. Shout out to the old Legion squad. So, yeah, Boston, not ideal. Invasion, control, and control generically. Good news for Boston. They've actually been solid at this game, though. 5-7 record overall in this map specifically, but they've won 7 out of their last 10 controls, and Beans has been literally the fry man when it comes to control as well. The devs touched on it. His damage numbers have been completely absurd. And I know the 5-10 record doesn't look great for Seattle. I will say Surge's control has looked better as the year has progressed. And honestly, Surge are pretty solid. They are officially, in my mind, a very lethal threat on this map, including against some of the best teams in the game.
Well, let's find out as Hugh finds the first blood in the control anyway, and the first 3 bloods all going the way of Hugh, and we could start hearing the whirring of doom. The blender might be already in.
It absolutely is. Hook didn't even take damage on that, by the way. He got 3 kills and just completely untouched and unfazed. Snoopy, the only player to cross out towards A, but Snoopy's going to have to deal with virtually the entire team. Abuza does get gunned and everybody on Seattle actually falls. So Snoopy going to open the map for his team, and he's going to get overwhelmed and killed off this A site eventually. But still, good news. You at least have the pressure on B, which Boston only solo capping.
They are looking for maybe a few more kills for this one, but
oh my god! Oh my god!
The most dangerous thing in this game is Hugh and his nades. But hey, Boston at the moment capping after what could have been a disastrous start. They found their way back. Hugh blowing up more things on the map.
Hook is going to have more car bomb kills than, like, I don't know, some players going to have kills in the S&D. Actually, he definitely does.
Yeah, that's actually 100% true. But at the moment, in the control, a good start for Boston. They've got B down. They've got the time. They mustn't waste this after breaking out the first time. Abuza finding Major Maniac. Drills. Not going to get the second. Boston need a string of kills here, though, to make some progress.
Yeah, and the problem is it's going to be a long-term game. Brezi's been living inside of your spawn over by Palace, so everybody coming off spawn is going to have a problem. But if Boston wins all the gunfights, then you can run straight towards the zone. But now 2 players are going to be stuck in the cycle. And 04 getting tagged up from God knows where, but 2 players stuck in runs right now for Boston and Hook. It is just food for fodder. Boston very happy to post up and pray that their enemy makes a mistake, but not always the best in making the active plays.
Just waiting. They know he's here as well. When the spawn's going the direction they are. Brezzy will be looking to make the right kill, and it should be on Beans. Beans is going to be looking. Beans is not going to find quick enough. Annoying. And now Brezzy will try and get a better position to take some more, but gets shut down before he can do anything. Seattle Surge just bleeding the clock out here with trades.
Yeah, and players getting caught as well. Anyone that sneaks by Seattle, they have kept the map completely on hold. Able to swarm as well. Hoop responding to the pressure on a 4 spree as well. So definitely looking to see if he can get an extra couple kills. Know his 2 players nearby. Needs to play his life.
What is going on? Seattle Surge so sneaky. Hugh being a problem. A 6 streak for him. Everybody back into the spawn. 15 seconds left to go, and Seattle Surge will win this defense. 3 ticks for Boston. About the only highlight you can talk about.
They really are a team that, like, it's... If the game isn't easy for them, it feels like Boston don't often know what to do. They just got to the point where they had 2 players in rugs, and both of them just went, I don't know, pick a corner and hope for the best. And, I mean, not able to get the trades, not able to get it active. They had the 1 solid play where Snoopy sort of opens the map up over towards the A zone, but that's just to buy you the pressure to actually capture B. So Boston, I mean, a maybe standard round of invasion. They get 1 zone, do not get an extra tick. And of course, more bad news for them. Hook does in fact have a cruise missile, which he's going to blow up a car with it and a teammate. A lot of players are going to die.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with Hugh the Nuke living up to that nickname. 7 streak for him. They're now going to go straight into this. No messing around with an A push into B. The nade goes out from Hugh. Doesn't get anyone this time. A rare sight.
He's waiting for the kills to roll through. I mean, Boston as well, just sort of looking at Ghost. Beans has been sort of bouncing back and forth between the A zone, trying to play extra safe, but effectively looking at nothing. But now Boston's starting to swarm. Only 2 players even near the B zone, let alone capturing a Hook at this point. Just playing for the spree. That is 8 in a row, give him number 9, but you still want to make sure you actually capture the zone, but I think the reinforcements should be quick to be here. Beans have the only opportunity to break it down, and that is a nice start.
Snoopy has been cute. He'll keep playing his life. 14 and 3 at the moment. Stat line looking wonderful. Still capturing by himself. Snoopy is trying to capture him as well, but isn't going to work out. Pretty easy going for Seattle. They're going to grab B. This is going to be about the long haul towards A.
And Boston really want to try to capture as much space as possible. In the meantime, Priest makes a nice play just to be annoying, and you see he's dragging Hook all the way back. Hook, of course, though, does get the trade, and in the meantime, Boston have no extra space on the map, and as soon as Beans tries to go for it, he just falls. Seattle Surge, they can get set up around Cafe, and honestly, an opportunity to make a play as this 10 spree continues.
Hugh's still alive, although everything has slowed down an awful lot. I felt like Hugh's playing for a streak with the way he's currently playing. You've already got it. You're well past. But 15 and 3, might as well just keep doing what you're doing. They still have enough map control not to be locked back in.
And this is certainly the moment where you want to take your time and play for the kills as well. You're hoping to get a couple to fall in short order to make the break, because, I mean, Boston at the very least aren't setting up for spawn kills just yet, but a big win by Beans. The streak has ended, and, well, now for Seattle, a much longer way to go in this round.
Priest, they're trying to lock them. You can see he's trying to make pressure down the straight to get them back in. It isn't going to work. Got to be careful here. Boston are holding on, but just a small margin for them. They start losing a couple of trades, and they will dive. 0-4 already making his way up. Maybe hoping to stop the clock. That's what he's doing. And the hip fire isn't good enough. Snoopy will take him down.
I was going to say, Boston are playing like a very delicate game. They're getting a lot of kills on the defensive end. So far, it's been so good, but it's felt like Priest is the only one that's been playing for positioning on the map. Everybody else, I mean, just incredibly turtled, which if you get the kills, it's great.
Well, a lot of jumping around, a lot of trades, but a whole lot of nothing here for Seattle. If they don't do something now, they will end this the exact same way Boston did. Just 3 ticks. And Beans finding enough kills. He's on his own 6 streak. He gets the 7 as well. The Renetti banging to put Seattle away for this one. Duke will get into the point, though. Clock stopped, but there are too many players around. He will fall as well. I don't think they can make this through. They just got down to 0-4. This could be dangerous. Major Maniac, the last player alive to do anything. And that will lock it out. I guess it's all even.
Yeah, maybe Seattle a little bit too slow on their attacking rounds as well. But obviously, they were pretty consistently in good positions. Boston just on point with their holds. But that is a sort of series of very delicate moments that Boston Breach playing a very dangerous game. But Beans has been on point in this game mode and goes on a spree of his own. So we got a cruise missile for cruise missile sort of balance on either side. Maybe an opportunity for Boston to attempt to use it aggressively. You see Beans chirping in the comms, trying to cook something up.
Who makes the difference? That's going to be the key here. Both teams tied, and as we've seen before in Invasion Control, it usually does go this way. You just have to find the tiny difference. And Snoopy tries to make it happen there. Beans is calling this in instantly, and he finds nothing.
Yeah, that's tough as well. You saw the play call. He's getting trophies out towards B, maybe hoping to bait out nades and tacks and tell Seattle, hey, we're totally going over towards this zone. He had 2 teammates playing inside a cafe, but we saw Snoopy on the chase, just unable to get the kill. So that's a wasted cruise missile, which Hook just uses his as well, but maybe not wasted. It buys time for Boozer to go on the flank, and you see the guys on the hill, well, not comfortable to actually sit on the zone. Seattle Surge swarming around, but not actually getting the kills, and Abuza gets traded out as well. So beautiful moment for Boston. You deal with the cruise missile. You don't have to worry about the Hook threat for just a little bit, and it's looking like this B zone should be secure.
Now I'm going to get onto this. You can see 04 is thinking about a bit of a push. Jumps down, thinks better of it. All right, didn't find anyone. Back I go. And sometimes club matches between teams like this, they can be a symphony, a back and forth, a tug of war. This looks like 5 hamsters thrown into a washing machine as everybody just flies around the map.
Oh, yeah, you say flies around the map. Boston, they're just solo capping B. They're not trying to get active, not trying to take much space. They're just posted up and maybe waiting for some kills. So meanwhile, guys like a Booza just able to post up. And I was going to say maybe get caught off guard, but him and 04 there for the trades, and maybe a trade to be found on the top side of the street, but 04 getting active as well. Seattle Surge, again, they have been much more comfortable on the defensive end.
Boston, again, now going to try and make their push. They still have 1:15, which seems like a long time, but it may only be 2 big pushes if they can get it done. They need to find the trades, though. Hugh's going to be here. Finds a kill, does not go down easy, and 04 finding another one. Puts them on the back foot again. Beans will find a kill to keep the gate open. But can he be the hero they need?
Well, and keep in mind, part of the problem is Seattle Surge. We've been talking about taking space a lot. It's now a Booza. Last time it was Brezzy that's pushed up over towards Palace. So you're just forcing them to take the longest routes. And obviously this is very standard invasion gameplay, but Seattle on point for the moment. 3 players crawling around Cafe and Laundry, though. Boston, 35 seconds left to try to get their attempt for the A-zone.
Boston need a little bit more pressure to make this happen here. Seattle will absorb this as long as possible, and every trade that goes their way is a problem for Boston. Priester, can he do enough? Can he make a hero play? Finds one. Should be able to stop the clock here, and does. Reinforcements are not close.
And those are good tags. Gonna slow Hook down just a little bit, except for the part where it's Hook. He doesn't slow down, and the reason why is just overwhelming, and there is just no one there for Boston to even really put a thought to the idea of helping Priesta there in that moment. So that's now 3 very standard rounds in a row. Both teams pretty on point on defense. No extra ticks rolling through. So I know what the tiebreaker scenario is. It comes down to kills in Seattle Surge, because Hook is, I mean, double, if not triple positive. They're going to be good in the kills column. So as long as Seattle Surge at least capture the B zone and don't completely break down on the kills front, they'll be able to get that defense for the round 5.
Well, funny you should say that. As I was looking over that quickly before we went to this in-between sections, Beans also has put up some significant numbers, actually more or less equal to where Hugh is. Just got under the radar because Boston haven't been able to do as much around the map. Yeah, Boston Beans 20 and 12, Hugh 21 and 11. So Hugh ever so slightly better, but you are right. I think the slaying still goes over their way.
Yeah, and not particularly close, like a 6 or 7 kill gap for the moment. Major Maniac struggling at 8 and 17. Just for the fact that Boston are on defense, like they could set up the Palace spawn trap and spawn kill you relentlessly and dagger them that way. But again, if they just capture this B zone, we're all squared away on the ticks front. So Boston gonna have to fight for it and maybe successful at it. There's the 4-man wipe. Now you put the pedal to the metal, foot on the gas, and just try to do anything on the map to keep these players trapped.
04 is looking to keep this one open, but Preset has already got there. The angle and the timing is not right for him. Brezzy also looking for it, but maybe you are right, Chance. This could just be enough to give Boston the advantage going into round 5. Seattle Surge will know this as well. They will try and break it. Boston have only died once on this.
Damn, hella win from 04. Just a nuisance, but it does get traded out. It's about a 3-kill gap right now between these two teams. And of course, Seattle still need at least 1 extra tick. They're still down by 1, but now the A zone might be open. Number 3, Abuza on the cross, and as reinforcements, Hook, though, just gets traded out. Beans shredding in this moment, but does get chopped down. Seattle, they just need this extra tick.
They're trying to get it. It's very, very close. Priester will now dive this. I don't think he dived it before. Seattle will tie it up. 6 ticks aside for Seattle. All they really need to do now is get on the B and guarantee themselves defense. And even better than that, Chance, if they really want to, or give them the extra time to try and put it to bed here.
In Boston, they're not even fighting for it. Not even trying to like full send it. Or maybe Beans does last second, but that's just easy reads. Way too long to try to stop that play. And there you go. Defense secured for the final round. And honestly, Seattle still could just win it here. They have the extra tick over towards A and 1:20 to work with. And you got a Hook in your base.
Does he play it correct? Boston have given up map control. They are turtling, looking for these kills before they push out. They've already found 04. Cuke is waiting for his own one as well. Bressi, it's a big fight. Takes down Snoopy. Seattle all waiting for the opportunity. Cuke will take down Priester as well. It might be here. Beans, though, gets Bressi. A Major Maniac takes down a Boozer. That'll be the push stop for now.
Yeah, for now, though, is the right call. Hook still behind enemy lines, and got to trade him out. Major Maniac does it through the wall. Good comms, and, well, now 04, 8 HP. But Beans doesn't go for the trade, so 04 gets to live in this situation. And again, they just have so much space that Seattle, it's not an easy moment, but Beans doesn't want to trade him out in his one shot. He flies out after the fact. Breggy gives you the extra, and now it's one-man Snoopy by himself on the A zone. He cannot last. Seattle, maybe they've made it to the promised land.
Only Cuke left alive. The grenade is going to be out. Still completely alone. They will pinch him here, surely, and Wally will find a kill. That's all he gets. 04 has reinforcements flying into the point. There's Beans behind it, not able to do any more. Snoopy backing him up as well. And Seattle, they rolled the dice. They tried to end it here. Hasn't worked out for them. But they can be secure in the knowledge they have secured defense for round 5.
Now we gotta really test. That's insane, dude. The hip fire, like one bullet sort of snap. Always ridiculous to me, but as pointed out, round 5, defense secured for Seattle. We get to test the theory, though. Like, round 5 offenses have always just been built different on this map. So I know Boston, not a good situation, but maybe they got a little bit of momentum on their side. Again, chirping in the comms. You had Beans when he had the cruise missiles, trying to set up a play with his teammates to go for that initial A break, and active in the communication department. Boston, again, attempting to cook something up for this final round.
Let's see. For Boston, might as well full send. Try something a little bit different. Change the gameplay up. Just do something, really, because they're now staring down a 3-0. They have to be different. They have to exceed the level they've been playing at. Boston already find 04 off the opening break and straight on to B. They're doing it again. Only one person capping.
And this is just to buy time, right? If the clock is going to be stopped, Beans, there is no rush. He's playing for the cruise missile. He's on a 5 spree, and he gets it instantly. Does get traded out, though, but look who's behind enemy lines. Another potential hero A cap. And Beans, I mean, maybe an opportunity to call in the cruise now, give him the comms, and help him out. We'll see what kind of play they can make.
Cool there. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Beans finds his teammate. Okay. Unfortunately, Snoopy will be eliminated. And the biggest problem for them now is they've lost all map control. Boston will be feeling the pressure as Seattle turn the heat up. Major Maniac looking for anything here. Boston will go for a massive hit down B Street, though.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you have to at this point. Or maybe they're playing for another, yeah, Major Maniac, maybe toying with the idea of going over towards A, but that's a 4-man wipe on defense. Round 5 cheese, not gonna happen. Team killing with the cruise. Incredibly unfortunate. And Boston, it's 04 just in your spawn. He's just doing tricks right now. It's gonna be a 3-0.
Oh, Hugh's running through the spawn as well. Not even worried about it. Beans cut down with the rival 9. That's a 6 streak for Hugh. And Boston are trying to do something different, but they have nothing. Hugh is a menace. This is his 2nd streak of it as well. Looking for it eventually, going to be taken down. 16 seconds in a dream for Boston. It's hit the afterburners, hit the hope. Cross your fingers, toes, and hair, and pray. Because nothing, and I repeat, nothing is looking like it is going well for them. Abuza takes down 2. Hugh calls in the cruise missile, has to get rid of it because his teammate makes the kill. And that is a clean 3-0. It's not even a big celebration for Seattle.
Doesn't need to be at all. They weren't even really contested. They got outslayed in the first hard point, still won by 100. Hook was involved in almost every single first blood in the search and destroy. That was a cakewalk on invasion, and then very comfortable, clean, and easy to get the defense for the round 5. Seattle Surge coming out and just taking care of business. So they bump up their CDL point lead against the bottom teams just a little bit more. They've built that cushion even further, which is another scoreboard where, again, Beans' damage and control completely absurd. A Titan in the lobby, but Seattle Surge on a team front, much better, much more active, and again, just a little bit icier on the defensive end.
Well, there's the tail.